Good morning, y'all. This morning's devotion is from Genesis chapter 25, and it's verses 1 through 11. And this is the end of Abraham's life. We see that he did remarry and have more sons. He became the father of many nations. And as he is departing this earth, it says that he left everything he owned to Isaac. As he was living, he did give things to his other children, but when he died, Isaac was the sole beneficiary, and Isaac was the one who received everything that had belonged to Abraham. And I think that's good, right? Like, that's what we should be doing. We should be passing good things down to our children, to the ones in the generations coming up after us, and intentionally leaving it to them. That means that we should acquire some things in this life, and these things don't have to just be materialistic. We can pass down wisdom. We see that after Abraham died, God blessed Isaac, right? We can pass down blessings. We can make sure that we're raising up this next generation in the way that they ought to go, training them up in holiness and righteousness. They can receive love and the discipline of faithfulness. So it doesn't have to just be things, but we can't leave this next generation with nothing. We can't leave our children with nothing. God wants us to care well for those after us. And Abraham does that. It says when he died at a good old age. He died at 175 years old. Now, when Isaac was born, Abraham was 100, so he lived 75 more years, y'all. We don't have to stop when the promise is fulfilled. We don't have to stop when God does what he finally says he's going to do. There may be more life than we think left for us on this earth, and Abraham got to enjoy 75 years with his promised son, with his miracle child. And that should encourage us to know that we're not living just till the promise. We don't know what God has in store for us after that is done, and then we'll get to live forever with him. But yeah, he died at a good old age. The Bible tells us that wisdom adds years to our life, and we know that Abraham was wise, and he died full of years. And although it's like sad, like, oh no, Abraham is like, this is the end of his story, it's not the end of his legacy. And he died full of his years. His years were purposeful. His years were meaningful. His years were spent walking with God. And I want the same testimony at the end of this part of my life, right? I want to die at a good old age and full of years, not wasting this time that I have here on this earth, but making sure that I'm using each year to do what God has told me to do, that I'm not leaving it empty, but I'm filling it with all the goodness, love, and righteousness, obedience, and faithfulness that I can. And I hope that's the goal for each and every one of us. And then, yeah, I already said the blessing is transferred to his son. How we live our life matters, because it's what the work that's done in us, that's the work that can continue on through the children that we have, through the lives that we impact. So let's make sure that it's a good work being done in us, that we're allowing God to have his way to grow us and develop us and mold us so we look like him, so that's what continues on through the lives of others, the lives that we've touched, the lives that we've birthed into this world. So y'all, this is the end of our journey with Abraham. Thanks for tagging along. Learned a lot about faith and discipline and obedience, and like the momentum that faith has, and just to always continue in that faithfulness. You guys have a great and wonderful day today. Bye.